Hello guys and welcome. Now this is going to be a bit of a strange one. This is me reacting and me updating and sort of going through some of the old questions what I had back when I was 18 years old. Now if you don't remember, I did release a video, how many years ago was it now? 3rd of May 2015 on my YouTube channel. It is called My Experience of Being in Fostercare. Beautiful, let it focus, there we go. Basically, it was a video what I did through the Children's Voice Project, which was a part of the fostering committee of which I was in. It answers a lot of questions about me being in care, about my favourite hobbies, where I went to school, my GCSEs, my A-levels. But that was when I was 18. I hadn't even gone to uni yet. I hadn't got a girlfriend yet. I was still a virgin. It was like a very weird time for me. But I thought, considering it's been nearly 22 years now since I first went into care, I thought there's a lot of unanswered questions of which I'd like to share, because I know a lot of people out there don't know about, I was one, in care, but two, don't know a lot about the system or a lot of any of the questions what are in the system. Obviously this video is a little bit outdated now. It's 8 years old nearly now, which is a bit crazy. Obviously I've uploaded this a little bit later than when it was filmed. Here it is, me reacting. I'm going to put the video down here anyway in the picture-in-picture, and I'm going to be looking down here obviously because that's where the video will be on my beautiful iPad. It's going to be weird because I can already see I've got much longer hair, which is a bit weird. But we will see. This is me reacting to this video. Hopefully it won't be too long, but we shall see. Let's go.
Right, my name's James Butler. I am 18 years old. I came into care when I was 5 years old. I am currently doing my A-levels at Cannock Chase High School.
Okay, so my name's James Butler. That obviously hasn't changed. Although I am technically a lord now, but again, that's a different story for a different video. My name's James Butler. I am currently 26 years old. Feel so old. And I am currently in a full-time job at Drayton Manor Park alongside a part-time job at McDonald's. Like extra money and free food, obviously. Let's carry on.
Well, when I was 5, I don't really remember a lot about coming into care. I think it was quite a fast and fluid moment. I don't really remember talking to anyone. I think I was at my grandma's when I got picked up to come to my foster placement where I am now. It's quite quick, if you ask me. It's like really fast, fluent, and just... I actually fell asleep in the car, actually, because I was only young when I was coming up into my placement. And then I woke up, seen a house, and got in there and stopped there since I've been there, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, that is. I don't remember much. It's a bit of a weird one, really. Looking back at it, I really don't. The only thing I do remember is, like I said in the clip, is that all I remember is pulling up onto the driveway and literally you had Michelle, which is my foster mom, and several of her kids outside. It was also her daughter's birthday at the same time. Happy birthday, Cam. So it's a bit of a weird one in that sense. I do remember them all there being there, open arms, and just welcoming me into the family. It's not like a Tracy Beaker home. It was literally just like a family, like probably you're watching now, with a mom, a dad, and a beautiful family as well. And it was really nice that they could just welcome someone like me, for example, and my sister, into such a loving family and environment. Unfortunately, I don't remember much, but hey-ho, that's maybe it'll come in time. I don't know. We'll see.
I think my foster placement was so right just due to the fact because I think the council just put me with the right carer straight from the start. I think it all comes down to the carer as such. I think you have to have a good relationship with the carer, especially from a young age. You have to have that instant click, or else growing up it may not be a pleasant experience. Like to some people it may not be, but to me, it's an instant click, and I really enjoyed where I have been since. I think that's partly down to the carer, but partly down to the council as well, so yeah.
See, I sort of want to go back on what I said there. My placement was so... I hate saying placement, but technically that's what they call it, but my family was so right. What they could have put me with was because Michelle is such a fantastic foster mom. I think if I was put with anyone else, I don't think I'll be where I am today. She's been so supportive. She's been amazingly patient, I would say, through my depression, my anxiety, through my ups and downs. And I think that in itself is why my experience, I'm going to call it, was so extreme to positivity. Yeah, we've had our downfalls, and yes, we've had our upsets, but I don't think anything, anywhere in my heart, I could say nothing better than thank you, Michelle, to the bottom of my heart. I don't think it was partly up to the council. To an extent, it might have been because they put me with Michelle. But other than that, ultimately, the support and the love and everything else in between was down to you. So, thank you. Also, side note, no wonder why I was a virgin. Have you seen me? Carry on.
I think some low points have been like, say, when I've been asked to be introduced to my parents and such, because obviously I haven't seen my mom since I've been coming to care. I've recently started seeing my dad again, but I think being asked, do you want to? I think that was like, okay, this is quite a serious turning point now. Do I actually want to see these people again, or do I not? You know what I mean? So I actually chose the decision not to see my mom, just because my sister took the turn to see, and it all didn't really go to plan. But I think there hasn't really been much low points, but I think if you want to say a low point, I think that's going to be a low point as such. And like, say, when I get told, like, when my grandma passed away, obviously because that's who I used to live with before I used to come, that's quite, okay, I think they're the low points, but there's always been my carer to go to if I need to, and then school if I need to as such, so yeah.
Yeah, low points. Obviously, this was when I was like teen, so I didn't really experience a lot in life, which is a bit unfortunate, really, because I wish I could fulfill a few more experiences for you and everything else in between. However, low point. Obviously mentioned in the video about my grandma passing away. It was quite a low point. I still haven't seen my mom since I was 5 years old. A lot of people, strangely enough, do still come up to me and go, do you know what, do you miss seeing your mom? Do you want to get in contact with her? Do you want to find her? At this present moment in time, no. A lot of people are like, why? And the question is, I don't know. I just that gut instinct of that, I don't know. And obviously, you know about my sister Emma. She did go and see her at one point. It didn't go too well, and all I know is that I don't want to put more stress in my life. I also mentioned that I was also seeing my dad at that point in my life. I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't know if you are watching, but unfortunately that has gone downhill a lot in the recent years. And again, it's just partly because I want to sort of get on with my own life and not have someone who's going to pop in and out of my life like a yo-yo. I feel like I need some stability in my life, and in order for me to have that stability, I need to push away, unfortunately, the people who aren't as relevant in my life anymore.
It's very important being with my sister, coming into care with her, because she's helped me through my low times, she's helped me through my high times, and it's the same vice versa as well. I've helped her through her low times, etc, etc. I think at the time I didn't think it was that important, but now as she's gone, because she's moved out and such, it's been apparent that I actually needed her more than I actually... basically, it's a normal sister-brother relationship. You don't want her there when she's there, and then when she's not there, you want her. It's that sort of thing, so yeah.
It was quite important, I believe, going in with my sister, looking back at it and being mature, looking at it. I think that's just partly down to the reason of, it's a bit scary, especially like when you're 5 years old, you've just come out with your family, you're going into a brand new environment which you're not too sure of, and to have that familiar face with you was a powerful thing to have with you, and I'm very thankful for it. Unfortunately, again, like I said in the video, you do have your ups and downs along with it. Both were very troubled at that age in the sense of mentally, so, you know, things have happened which, you know, you look back on and you try and reflect and you're just like, maybe that shouldn't have happened or anything like that. But looking back at it, I am thankful. We are still in contact every now and again. It's just nice to know that I have still got, I'm going to say it in the most weirdest of ways, still have got some blood family still around who I can talk to if I want to.
It was important that my carer had these certain qualities, because she's helped me grow up as into an adult as such, and her qualities and traces have come onto me as such. Like when I first went in, she had she was positive, not negative at all. She was just enthusiastic about everything, you know what I mean, and just looked on the bright side of life, you know what I mean, and just helped you come through it into a nice, it's like going from your family into a foster family. She made that into like making her, I'm her family, you know what I mean, as such. So it's that as easy as that.
Yeah, but I was not really sure what the question was, to be fair, in that one, because when I was recording this, it was more like you need to put the question into an answer. And also this screenshot, which I've just saved it on, is another example of why I was a virgin at 18 years old. The qualities of my foster carer, you want someone who's just like Michelle. Obviously, I know a few other foster carers. However, Michelle was positive. She was welcoming. She wasn't a typical scary foster carer who's going to, lock you in your room 24/7 and, making sure you can't play games or whatever. She was very wanting you to get out there and try and find yourself and become as independent as possible. It's basically, she's your mom. Whatever your mom does now is what Michelle did as a foster kid, and that you can't get anywhere else. You can't fake that. You can't fake being a mom. She was a mom, 3 daughters and 1 son, and to be able to pass that on to me and share that same love and commitment and enthusiasm as raising me as much as she was raising them is something powerful in itself.
It helped me a lot going into a big family because everyone was around me, was also being very positive and helping me, welcoming me into the family. It was just a big happy family, really, a nice warm family. And not only that, when I got there, we decided to get a new house pet called Peggy, my dog. She's now 12, so I've grown up with her as well, and I've got a nice strong connection with the dog. So yeah, it's just a nice big happy family and warmly.
It was important going into a big family because now that I'm away from them, I miss them more and every day. I'm not as involved with them as much as I'd like to be, but that's just because we all share busy lives. I'm not very on to go out my way, unfortunately. I'm a bit selfish like that, to go and talk to people. However, it was very overwhelming, I'm not going to lie, going into a big family. But again, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love each and every one of you. I can, George, Bernie, and the rest. You've all married kids and that. It's crazy. And going on to the pet dog, I think having a pet is very important because I grew very close to Peggy. As I did mention, she was 12 in this video. Unfortunately, before I went to uni, she did die. It's the most saddest day of my life. I still think of it this day. Peggy, rest in peace. Very, very important because you grow close, and even though I'm sure most of you who have dogs, pets, cats, hamsters, gerbils, mice, whatever, do grow close to them because it's someone who you can talk to, someone who you can love, and even though they can't understand you, it's just someone nice to blurt all your emotions out to you. And like I say, it was one of the most saddest days of my life. Rest in peace, Peggy, again. Unfortunately, now we have got a new pet dog called Pearl, who's a cockapoo, who's kind of cute, but doesn't replace Peggy, but still cute.
In school, when I first went in, I was in this foster carers help program, which helped you go through school, and if you needed the extra support, then a designated teacher would be there to help you go through your lessons, and there'd be a support teacher in your lessons as such. They was very helpful, but when I went into say year 9, I think because I was doing so well at school, I actually dropped. The teacher went away, I didn't need them anymore, and I was doing well on my own. I think being in care through school hasn't really affected it as much as just being gone into school, because I know some placements, they've moved around quite a lot in different schools, and it's quite hard to make friends and stay positive about the experience. But I think being at the same school throughout it all, it's been quite easy. Everyone knows I'm in foster care, all my teachers know. It's nothing to hide, really. It's nothing to hide. It's just been exciting, really. It's just been like a normal school life.
It has been like a normal life, unfortunately, and I'm sure most of you know I do suffer with depression, I do suffer with anxiety, and going through therapy and that. And I think while I go through that, I don't know whether it is to do with things that happened in school or vice versa. I did get bullied quite a lot in school, and I don't think that was partly down because I was in care, but I'm not entirely too sure either, because I'm too afraid to go out and ask, or I won't go out and ask these people who used to bully me. It's just one of them, I think. That's all I got to say. No matter with the support, I did get a lot of support when I was in school. It did sort of fade away because I was doing well at school. However, I'm not in school anymore. I did go to uni. There was a lot of support in uni. And not a lot of foster kids do go to uni, so it's quite nice to be able to fight that barrier and finally get out to uni as well. Alongside that, all them qualities, what you learn and your support, it does unfortunately fade away. But then I think that's why it's so important to have such a loving foster carer, a foster mom, because you can always rely on them when you need to. So yeah, the support is always there if you need it, just it's always in different forms, and it's how you find it. I worded that completely wrong, but I hope you get what I'm getting at.
Friends and peers around me, when I first knew I was in foster care, it was a bit touchy at first. I was like, okay, I'm not meant to say these things, like jokes and that, and okay. But then, as I knew that I wasn't really that bothered that I was in care and it didn't really affect me as much, I think they're just like, they don't even talk about it, they just know and it's there, and if they want to talk about it, and I'm more than happy talking about it, you know what I mean? But most of them know, so it's nothing to hide from them, and they don't really care, really.
No one cares. No one cares that you're in foster care. Well, I don't think anyone does anyway. I know a lot of people are still, oh, do I talk about this? Oh, do I talk about that? And I don't care. Like, if I see you out in the street and I've never met you before, I probably will talk about me being in care, because no doubt I speak very highly of Michelle and her family. So it most likely will come out. Like, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. It may bother some people, and all I got to say to that is, if you don't feel comfortable asking a question, don't ask it. If you don't feel comfortable answering a question, don't answer it. However, in my eyes, nothing to be ashamed of and nothing to hide.
I think school trips and that, I don't think there's been much different approvals or such. I think it's just been the same as, I think the most weirdest thing is that when people like say parent and guardian and it has to be the guardian, I think that's the only different thing towards it. But going away didn't really affect me as such, like going on to the school trips. I mean, I've personally organised loads of school trips with the school myself, like to Alton Towers, to theme parks and all that, as I do. So it hasn't been much of a different step towards school trips and that, so yeah.
That's kind of funny. How up my arse could I be? I did organise a lot of trips to Alton Towers. So knowing that I was going to work there a couple of years later, no, but I did. Would I know that I'm still working at Drake Manor? No, but I did. But like I say in the video, the only thing what was different was seeing, when you sign like a form and it says parent or guardian and you had to sign as a guardian, not a parent. I think that is literally probably the only difference. I don't know why this question popped up. It's not the best question to ask. However, that is a form, a factor, what you have to play into it. I think the one thing I'm going to add on to this, I don't know if it comes up later in the video, but I think the one thing I will add on, that the fact is, when you're out and about, at a theme park or whatever, and you hear mom and dad, I think that's a little bit of hard hitting for me, especially because I work in, Thomas Land. I used to work in CVB's Land, and it's like, oh, I wish I could call someone mom, oh, I wish I could call someone dad. I think that's probably the only difference. This question's a bit silly, but it's in there.
My main hobby includes magic. I've been doing it since since quite young. I've been into it. I haven't been performing it since I've been performing since like 10ish, and it stuck with me since then. And then my carer and that, like, we had a leaflet come through the post saying we do talent contests for the Children's Voice Project put on, and I've been going to the Reach for the Stars quite a few times, seeing all these talent contests going on. I thought, oh, actually, I fancy that. But I haven't really had the confidence to go up onto the stage and perform in front of so many different people, because it's quite scary. And but then my carer was like, come on, you can do it, come on, I'll take it out, I'll bring you back, you know what I mean? And she helped me with the confidence to go up on stage and perform, and I did, and it was really good, and it helped me improve my magic in so many different ways, like take it from close up to stage. It's like quite inspirational, really, because one of my main inspirations or characters is Darren Brown, who's a massive stage performer. So yeah, it's helped me in a lot of ways.
I've realised when I'm coming to the end of each segment, I keep saying, so yeah, and I think I still do that now. Anyway, either that or I'll cut it out. Hobbies, that's what it was. So my main hobby back then was magic. Unfortunately, I did sort of drop that. I still do know some tricks and that, so if you ever see me out and about and I've got a pack of cards, don't be afraid to ask. I'll try and show something. The Stars in Their Eyes was an event what the committee put on each and every year, where acts of people in foster care was invited up on stage to perform many of their talents. There were singers, dancers, can't remember what else, mainly singers and dancers, to be honest. And obviously I got up on stage one time, and that's brilliant. And again, I do thank Michelle for taking me to primary events. Darren Brown is still my inspiration. He's amazing. However, my hobbies have now shifted as you get older, as you can probably imagine. And my hobbies now include travelling the world and seeing what the world has to offer, different cultures, different theme parks, and so on like that.
Very important that young people get in contact with different activities going on around with the council, because I think that their voice needs to also be heard, as well as just the carers and just speaking to the carers or the social workers, because sometimes words can get twisted and it's not coming direct from the young person.
I'm not too sure again what that question was. However, what I can think is I think it is important. I'm going to twist it a little bit to what I think the question was. I think it's very important that people who are in foster care do try and get out there. I think a main one would be Scout, Brownies, Girl Guides, or whatever the hell they call them these days, karate and different extracurricular activities outside of school, just so you can meet new people. I think that's a very important thing. If you are a bit shy, it helps you get out there. So just try and get out there as much as possible, talk to as many people as possible, and grow as a human being, is my 26-year-old advice. God knows if I do this in another 8 years, what I'm going to say to myself. Probably stop doing anything.
Workers. I think I've had about 10 different ones. I mean, to be fair, it's been quite fun, but it's been quite sad at times as well, because you actually do grow to a certain social worker as more than the other as such. I mean, when the first one I had was like come from Scotland, I think, and she was like one of the most friendliest people you could ever meet, and then she had to go on to a different team, and I've just recently gone to another one who has also just left and gone to another team, and it's quite sad to see them go because you grow to that certain person, but it's also when you get a new one, you're like, oh, okay, there's a new person, okay, I need to try and grow to them. So that's the hard points to it all, is trying to grow to a different person, but it's funny because they're really nice people as well, and you do grow to them as such. So it's been...
I did have many social workers when I was going through the care process. Again, reasons are for anything. They could be moving on to a new team, like I said in the video, or it could be anything. However, the one I've got now, it did last for a long time, which is good. The downfall of that is, like I said in the video, it is kind of hard because they are some stability in your life, and when you are going through that process, especially when you've just come into care, I think it's nice to have a stability in your life, whether that be through your family or through social workers as well, especially when you're just getting to know someone and finally, confiding in, a social worker. The whole point of a social worker is that you can talk to them in confidence if you don't want to talk to your foster parents or your foster family. And I think one of the downfalls of if they keep going out and keep changing, it's hard to keep building up that confidence and that trust within the social workers. However, I can say that every single one of my social workers were absolutely lovely, bar one, I believe. Can't really remember. I just remember one being a bit meh. But all of them are lovely, and I wouldn't change any of them for the world. However, I wish some of them did stay longer.
I've had so many different social workers. It's been quite challenging, but also quite exciting as well, because each and every one of them have had different qualities about them. Some of my favourite ones have been literally the ones who just come for a chat, because they know, say, how good I have been in my placements, because they've been with me quite a while, some of them have. Some of them just literally come for a cup of tea and a chat and just do what they have to do. It's literally just tick a few boxes. He's doing well, you know what I mean, as such. It's been literally as simple as that, and that what stands out to me in a good social worker. They come for a chat and not just a serious talk, you know what I mean, like, are you doing this or you shouldn't be doing that, you know what I mean. They let me talk to them and they respond back in the way I want them to, you know what I mean. It's more of a relaxed feeling than just sitting up and going, okay, I need to do this as such. So that's what I see in a good social worker.
It's basically what I said in the last one. All my social workers did just sort of come tick a few boxes, because unfortunately, even though if you don't want them there, they've got to do their job and they have to come and visit you. They have to come and make sure, your foster family are doing a good job. And luckily with me, my foster mom, Michelle, she was fantastic and she always did a good job. There was a point where I did lie to the foster carer when I was, just coming to care and said I drank wine every Saturday. Probably not the smartest thing to do, kids. Sorry, Michelle. Just an FYI, I didn't drink wine every Saturday. Like I say, they all did just come for a chat. Unfortunately, we'll get some who are very worker-minded and we'll make sure they would just come strictly tick, 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 tick and piss back off. But luckily all mine were really friendly and same as before. I'm not going to keep going on about it.
Social workers have been chirpy and been very interactive with you, with the young people or with me as such in this one. They've been very interactive and being very chatty, and they're there for as a guidance and to care about you. Not just like, I've had like a few social workers as well who are just not as such bad, but they're not, I haven't really stuck to them as much as the other ones, just because they're there, I think they're there just to do a job and just tick the boxes. And I don't think that's a very good trait in a social worker. I think they should be there to come and talk to you, get to know you, but also do the job as such and help you as a guidance.
Basically what I said before, trust. You need to build up a trust in a social worker, because if you're going through the care process and you don't trust someone, and you don't trust your family, who can you trust? I'm not saying I didn't, but I think that's a very important factor. It's funny, I haven't watched this video in about 4 years, and it's really funny that I've just said exactly the same thing what I've just said before, in the fact of, about me not liking one particular social worker, and clearly I was right. Also, FYI, this is not my house. This was a green screen, believe it or not. Don't know why, but it was. Just an interesting fact.
I'm 18 now, and obviously I'm out of care. I'm on my own basically, and I need to start looking at the future. I'm going to be staying with my foster placement up until I actually move out physically. So I'll be doing all the normal stuff, paying board and all that. But I need to look at my future, and obviously I'm an entertainer of sorts, so I've been looking at going into Butlins and that, and they actually provide on-site accommodation if you work there full time, so that could be a step forward. I'm also looking about applying for college and doing a drama degree there and such, and so yeah, it's going to be quite challenging of where I'm going to be going, but I'm sort of on track, and I'm sort of going in the right direction of where I want to go, and obviously my carer's been there to help me make all the right decisions, and so yeah, it's quite challenging, but also it will be rewarding at the end.
I think what I'm trying to say here is that I'm going to remove myself from this situation and think about it, what I know about other foster kids, and that when you turn 18, your foster parent, foster family, have to make a decision of whether they want to keep you in your house or, I'm not saying kick you out or help you find alternative accommodation through the council, because ultimately it is their job. Believe it or not, they do have a job. And because it is their job, they have to think about income and whether they want to foster more kids to help more people or move on to a different career. You don't know. And that is a very difficult situation. Luckily with me, like I said in the video, is I was able to stay on with Michelle. I did pay, my rent, which was good. Got a job or whatever, I can't even remember how, through income support, I believe. I did manage to go up to uni. In the end, I did go through to college, and I did manage to find a full-time job, and I stopped with Michelle all the way up until the age of 21. I am still in contact with her 22 years later. It's mad. And I don't class her as my foster mom. I do class her as my mom. And I think that is one of the most powerful things of what anyone could have come out of being in foster care.
The strength has come from my carer. It's always come from there, and obviously my magic's been a backup side of that, and that's obviously gave me the confidence to go and talk to people. But I think my carer has been there all the way through. She's helped me, she's built my confidence right up, and she's just made me into a confident young adult to do basically whatever I want to do in life and push forward to make sure I get the best out of what I want out of life.
Again, I've spoke so highly of you, Michelle, in this video. It's mad, but without you, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's mad. I've gone through depression, and I think it's because I've gone through that, and you've been there from, day one. It's mad. All the way up until today. It's crazy. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you, and I think that is like one of the most powerful things what I can ever say thanks for. There's not enough thanks, there's not enough love, and there's not enough everything what I can give you in return for everything you've done for me as a person. Your other kids what you foster, I'm not going to mention names, confidentiality, but your other kids what you foster are the luckiest people in the world to have you as a foster carer. That's all I'm going to say. This video is getting really long. Carry on.
Meetings, like say the social worker meetings and the PEP meetings, which stands for Personal Education Plan meeting, it's been a bit, some of them can be a bit pointless, and some of them, in my case, it's been a bit, okay, do you really need to be here? And it can be a bit out of the question, like, do you actually really need to be here? But they sometimes have to hit deadlines and such. But I think for other people who are in care, I think they actually need these visits to actually be put onto the right track if they're going off track as such, and be pushed and drive forward into the way they need to go. That I think the PAP meetings have been I was great for that for in school, because the social worker has to come along with the carer and along with whoever is the designated teacher for the school. I think they help in school because they help you look at where you're going wrong in school and help you look at where you're going right in school. So I think, looking back, I think they actually did help me in a way, which I needed them at times, because at times, I mean, everyone goes downhill and everyone goes uphill. So they have helped me in that sense, but I think in other sense, do I really need to be here? You can just tell me, you know what I mean? Then having my whole meeting going out of my lessons just to come to it. But I think for, say, other people, they do need it.
And that's it. It's a bit mad. I'll finish that question off. Yeah, I think it was a bit silly at times to be pulled out of lessons just to go into a meeting to say how well you're doing at school. Why can't you just send a letter or whatever? But I guess it's more paperwork what a social worker has to fill in alongside your teachers and your foster carers. It doesn't make you feel normal, unfortunately. However, again, it's something what has to happen. Luckily, I didn't mind coming out of a lesson, because who doesn't mind missing lessons to go and do a meeting? That's it. It's a bit mad. It's been a long one. I don't know how long this video is going to be when I edit it down, but I just want to say that is my experience 22 years on. It's mad to think it's been that long. And again, I'm not going to go into it because I'll cry again, but thank you, Michelle, and thank you to your beautiful, amazing family. If there's any questions, I'm going to try and do a video all this week, one every couple of days or one every so many days, just all about my experience of being in care. So if you have got any questions you want to ask, comment down below and I'll try and answer them in a different video. If there isn't many questions, I won't put another video out, but if there is, that's what you can look forward to. Sorry it's been so long. Wanted to react to it. It was only a 13-minute video, but somehow it's turned into almost a 40-minute video. Don't know where the time adds up there, but thank you very much for watching. Like, comment and do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.